I'm going to explain to you how and why I use Storify to curate my resources that I provide to students each week. So let's start out with the why. There are a few reasons that I've opted to start using Storify for this purpose. One of those reasons is the way that the material looks. I'm pretty pedantic about making sure my students have a good experience of my course sites. They are the primary hub for the unit, and as we have both a face-to-face and online cohort, it's really important that there's a single space where all of the students can come together that is easy to get around and where the students have a good experience. Blackboard isn't the most flexible of tools, and it can be difficult sometimes to make the material look visually appealing. Storify allows me to do this because I can pull in images and the material is arranged in a really nice way. Once I've added the items into the story on Storify, I get some embed code, which I then simply put onto my Blackboard site, and then the story on Storify is pulled into my Blackboard page. The other main reason I do this is because my students don't use our Blackboard discussion forums. In fact, we don't even turn them on anymore. Instead, we create a Facebook group for each unit where the students can interact with us and with each other. We found this works significantly better than discussion boards on Blackboard, and the students get in there and help each other and answer each other's questions. So I wanted to be able to provide the learning resources in that space as well as on Blackboard without having to duplicate effort. And the way that I thought I could do that was by using the stories on Storify. So when I create the story, I then use the embed code to embed it into Blackboard, but I also just go straight to the group on Facebook and I put in a link that says, here's a link to this week's resources. And that way the students can access the resources directly from Facebook without having to go to Blackboard. Once I've posted it on Facebook, I'll simply tweet a link at the same time, and then regardless of where they want to interact with me, the students can find the resources on Blackboard, on Facebook, or on Twitter. Okay, let's take a look at how I've used Storify in a couple of my units. Let's take a look at one of the learning resources sets that I created in first semester this year. So the types of materials that I tend to include here are mini lecture videos. So I don't actually lecture, I pre-record all of my lecture content in short videos and I put those on YouTube. So the first thing I do is structure the story around different types of content. Things the students might watch, things they might read, things they might do, and things they might listen to. So here you can see I've embedded the mini lecture recordings for this week. Then underneath that I've listed the readings, and these include direct hyperlinks into the article in the library databases. And often I'll have something for them to do as well. So once I've done that, I then do three other things. I can tweet these, and in fact, once I hit publish, I get a prompt to tweet them, so that is a really simple thing to do. And all I need to do is add the unit hashtag to the tweet that Storify suggests for me. Then I also pop them onto the class Facebook group. So I do that by just making a post. You can see one here for the week 10 materials. The students can then click on that link and it takes them off to Storify where they'll find all the content for that week. Then I also embed the story into the Blackboard site so that students who prefer to interact with the learning materials there can do so. So let's have a look at Blackboard. So here on Blackboard, I've embedded one of my stories as a test so that you can see what it looks like. I use items, so from build content, I choose item, and then I just paste the embed code into the HTML view of the item. You can see here there's an item where I've got my embedded story, and the content is displaying directly from Storify. Students can engage with the content here, they can watch the videos by clicking play here, or they can follow links out to Storify and engage with the content there. So that's how I use Storify to create stories that I can share in multiple places for my weekly learning resources. If you'd like to see the nuts and bolts, the practicalities of using Storify in this way, there is a second video immediately following this one in a playlist, which will allow you to see how you pull resources into the story and how you can then share the story in multiple places.